he's having rain threats, you know.
All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to remind everyone that these proceedings are being recorded for the sole purposes of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following the approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. All right, we'll start with guest. Any guest? No guests? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April 17th, 2020?
1 minute,
Yes, sir.
what was there was some kind of Twix that was out about the updating the bylaws?
Oh, that's number
what's that
6.
all-
We'll
What's that all
go,
about?
yeah, do you want to ask about that now? That's good. If you want.
Well, do you want to do the meeting minutes first and then?
Yeah, we'll wait till, it's two down. We'll grab it.
Oh, all right.
Yep. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from April 17th, 2025?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I'll second.
So I have a first, second, and a third. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, number 5, Pocono Mountain Visitor Bureau Marketing Meeting Update.
So there are meeting notes in the link that I sent to all of you. I'm just gonna do a brief recap. We decided to do a longer 8-minute video and a shorter 1.5-minute promo video for commercials and that kind of thing. To aim to highlight the county's efforts in preserving open space, natural resources, and community character, while educating the municipal officials about the importance of balanced growth and preservation. We're looking to have the video highlight like one completed project and explain the program and its importance. We're also aiming to have it air in the fall, maybe like the first Sunday in October. And the shooting will happen 1 to 2 months prior. And then we're also given kind of offered the idea of creating a localized marketing campaign through like a billboard, a digital billboard, to target the municipal officials.
Nope, that was perfect. I did check back in with our group as well, so we'll be reaching out in August to start to work on the video. And then Kathleen, who is our design, she's working on like a billboard concept. So I think if we need anything else, we'll be back in touch. And I know Dennis, you've been doing help with that, so thanks.
Perfect.
It's great that the Vacation Bureau in Marlin is doing that.
Mhm.
That service for the board or for the county, which is very valuable and would normally cost a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
to do.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
expensive.
It's huge.
Our pleasure, absolutely.
Awesome. Do we have any questions about it? All right.
I guess the only question is if you, need any of our help, if anybody needs part of it, you know, let us know where we can be of assistance.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll work through Anna, and then as the production starts, and I'll have all of that ready for, the group as to who we need to be involved and when and all that good
Mhm.
stuff. So, you got it.
Any other questions? Okay, on to 6, bylaw amendments. So Anna, do you want to? So it was a little faux pas, it looked like, right?
Thing that was added, when the program started.
Cut and paste.
The top of page 3 of the bylaws. So it says it's Article 5, the roles and responsibilities of the Open Space Advisory Board members. And there's a section called meetings, and that just says that Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised in the current edition, shall be observed as is practicable as a guideline of the procedures for all meetings of the members of, and it says, the board of the Carbon County Emergency Operations and Training Center, provided, however, that no votes, activities, or other official business of the board of the Carbon County Emergency Operations and Training Center shall be deemed invalid for failure to comply with Robert's Rules of Order, so long as the said votes, activities, or other official business otherwise strictly complies with the applicable provisions of within bylaws. So it just has the wrong board mentioned twice. So we just need to correct that. So I'm just proposing to correct that tonight. And based on what the bylaws say, at the next meeting, you guys can vote to change it or not. Yeah, so it's just a typo.
We can't do it now. Change-
No, I didn't know that, but when we want to change the bylaws, it has to be proposed at one meeting and voted on at the next. That's just how they're written.
Okay,
So it'll be on the agenda next month, to vote on it. It could, it could end up being something you guys want to think about for a month, even though this isn't something like that. Just, that's how it was written, so. Yeah, that's my proposal, just to correct those two typos.
All right. Any other questions about the change?
Yes, I have it, and I
you
you-
did email that, didn't you?
You did.
I used like a correction sheet, yeah. The
Do you need a motion to change it?
Not tonight,
Not today, okay.
next month.
All right, perfect. Thank you for who caught it, by the way? Oh,
I know, it's still alive. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be there, and then I noticed it again, and I'm like, oh, and then I saw it again, that's really wrong. That should get fixed.
all right. On to number 7, timing of the opening of the fall grant round. And then closes September 30th.
We want to be able to share when the grant round is opening at these workshops with the municipalities starting in the summer. So I would recommend having the grant round open for at least 30 days, the application period, but we can open it earlier. I'm just looking for some insight on what you guys think would be good, just so I can have a date to tell the municipal officials at the workshop when they could apply if they were to have a project. And the first workshop will probably be in June before we meet, so I just wanted to get that done tonight.
What was our first time frame? Was it 6 weeks?
I think it was 30 days. It might have been 6.
I don't think it was 30.
I thought it was longer than 30 days, but
I think because it's brand new and we're sharing you the feedback we're getting from going to the municipalities, there's no harm in the longer the better.
Mhm.
It's, once we have our first workshop, we should just be telling folks the deadline for the next round is September 30th. And because these municipalities don't have an open space program, there's a lot of thinking they have to do and planning. And so to me, 60, 90 days, I mean, it's like, it's almost irrelevant.
I agree with probably longer the better.
Up to 90. So do we need a vote?
that'll mean July 1st.
But I think there's also a protocol that Anna has to check with Dave and the commissioners in putting together a news release.
Mhm.
I don't know what the protocol and process is for departments in the county to do a formal press release or immediate release. Here's what's happening, kind of thing, which, happens all the time. It's not a legal notice, so it's not something they gotta pay for in the newspaper, but just simply putting out the announcement.
Yeah, I'll just do a press release about it. Like I've done in the past.
We're all good with 90 days?
If that's allowable, I mean, that's the question on, it's already middle of May, so what's the time frame for the county to put it out? I don't know.
I
Yeah,
think there's any,
Just for
there's
their
nothing
meeting
standard.
schedule.
Yeah.
It's simply the protocol or the desire of the board. I think the state with the DCNR funding, they usually announce in January. that the application period is open, they have workshops, and the deadline is April something. So
Mhm.
it's, and I don't think it needs to be a set amount, it's just like, we want to get the word out for the next round of funding, because we really haven't had
Only school of,
any activity.
only school of thought is, opening July 1st means you're opening the week of July 4th. So you might get lost in a news cycle. So if you waited till after the week of the 4th, you might have a better chance of getting picked up. Yeah, that's.
In reality, there's no, the deadline is the only thing that matters. not
Right.
whether-
Yeah.
If somebody submits an application now, what's Anna gonna do? She's gonna say, well, our next round
Is.
was on September 30th, so we'll consider it with that round. Right?
Mhm.
So there is no,
Yeah.
it's just the formal, it's just the announcement that
Yeah.
matters.
And Anna, you said there's a workshop in June?
Yeah.
We just don't have a date yet.
Yeah, I don't think yet.
So what would that date be after July 4th?
So the 4th is a Friday, the 7th is a Monday. So probably, I would personally say the week, in and around the week of the 7th is probably your better bet, because like I said, you won't get lost in the news cycle there for the holiday.
It was like the week.
Oh,
If we could do it in June, I would propose June.
Dave, can I do that? I think I can. Can I do that? Put out the press release before?
The best thing to probably do, and where you're gonna get the best thing, is going to a commissioners meeting with it. And usually anything that we put out to the public like that, we'll have to double check and pretty soon. Yeah, I would say your best bet. Now, they meet every other
Yeah.
Thursday of the month, so their next meeting is not till June 5th. And then they'll have one on June 19th, and
Yeah,
then July
so-
3rd.
So
So-
I'll,
July 3rd.
Whatever
so I
you guys
could,
wanna start it, that would probably be best.
I could try and get it approved on June 19th
Okay.
and have it out public for the next. And it'll to be open, July 1st.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess though, to check with the commissioner's office, the more I think about this is, are the county, it's a county program, so are the county commissioners announcing the next round? Is it the Office of Planning and Development, or is it the Open Space Coordinator? What's the protocol here, I think, to ask the commissioners and Ellie? There's nothing wrong with, I mean, this is the board that reviews the applications, but it's a county program.
Yeah, so the county.
Maybe the county commissioners want to
Yeah.
announce the next round.
So we should recommend to the commissioners is what we'd like to say.
What do you guys think?
Press release says the county commissioners are excited to announce. And then it says, if you have questions or whatever, my contact.
Yeah, usually everything that we put out.
And it has our letterhead.
Commissioners,
Yeah.
you look at all of our press releases for round and stuff, it's all county commissioners.
So I guess you guys would just draft a press release and send it to the commissioner's office.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Any other questions? On to 8, municipal outreach update.
That we completed visiting all of the municipalities in the Northwest. Discuss the planning of that workshop as our next item. So now we're reaching out to the Northeast region. That so far we've gone to Penn Forest Township and Eastside Borough. And I'm waiting to hear back from Kidder Township about us going to their meeting on May 22nd at 6 p.m. And then after that, we'll be moving to the Kittatinny Bridge region. So we're on the schedule to go to Palmerton on May 22nd at 7. And then we're planning to go to Bowmanstown on the 20th, East Penn on June 6th, and Lower Toe on June 3rd. And I have the dates with me today as well, rest of them as well. The two other, Billy Height and just
How,
been getting some good feedback, mostly just us being told that the point of contact will be the secretary and she'll just send the information to all of the board members and they'll kind of decide from there. So far, only one has really designated one of their like municipal officials as a person. So, as a point of contact. Dennis has been coming and he's been a great help explaining the whole bond referendum and how this is pretty historical for the county to have this pot of funding to do this, and it's a whole planning process.
We're getting some feedback. I mean, some of the municipal officials, they're just hearing it for the first time, and to be honest with you, don't fully grasp what it is. We don't go into any detail. We only get 2 or 3 minutes on the agenda, and all we're doing is introducing the program and looking for a point of contact. But obviously, the workshop will get into the meat and potatoes of what the program is. And we're planning on meeting with Dave in a week or so with the new county comp plan and Greenway Recreation and Open Space Plan, figuring out how to present this information to these municipal officials so that they begin thinking about how to plan in their community, like, of how they want it to grow and what's important to protect from water quality and a forest standpoint. So it's a new program, it's new to them, and there's going to be a learning curve.
So Dave, do you have the list of when the municipalities have updated their comprehensive plans?
Did them,
Like per,
like what year?
per
they-
municipality?
Like, I have a list of municipalities that have comprehensive plan and also the date that they've backed and adopted. As for like, have any of them updated them recently? I haven't seen anything recent.
so if they amend that comprehensive plan, do they then get in touch with you to let you know that they amended it? If they like would amend that comprehensive plan, do they then have to send you the amendment?
Oh, if they would, update theirs, yeah, they would
Okay.
send it to me,
Yes.
and we would all be, you know, reviews and everything like that. Yeah, we would have a copy of it.
The most recent work we did with the conservation advisors, myself and Dawn and Dan, with the funding from the Delaware River Watershed Initiative, there were 7 municipalities that we worked with updating their zoning and saldos. So we made that attempt. And some of them have come before the County Planning Commission. I'm not sure how many of them have been adopted. But I think just as the county keeps track of, as DCED says, every 10 years you should update your plan, the municipalities should be tracking, and many of them have multi-municipal plans as to how old their plan is and when they should seek funding to update their multi-municipal plan. And obviously have a dovetail with the new county plan. So it's it's on the municipalities to do that. So.
But it's good timing if the county's rolling theirs out to just try to get in lockstep with what the county's looking to do.
Another thing I would tell the municipalities, especially the ones that, when they heard we were doing our comp plan, they were like, oh, we gotta do ours, I'm telling them, wow.
Wait 2 years
Well,
is down.
no, you wanna wait, because.
Yeah.
Like they told us when we were working on this plan, county comprehensive plan, like, the 10,000 foot view, and then as you go down, like, the mixable one will be like the 5,000 foot view. And so that's why now that we're gonna be rolling this out and it's not to the municipality, we're also gonna be encouraging them to start looking at updating theirs and, things like that, so they'll have ours to go off of.
What's a closing date on comments from the municipalities back to you?
They have 45 day,
Cause you've already sent that out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the deadline, I should say, for them providing any kind of comment?
And it's gone to the planning boards, correct?
I think it was in June sometime. I would have to go check the date that I sent it out.
Cause you sent that to the school districts as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So I thought I might comment on that as a way also to talk about the open space program at the next school board meeting. Assuming that's not after the deadline,
Yeah.
because they just had their next meeting will be at the end of June. All right, just let me know, because I obviously, if the date has passed, it's kind of meaningless, but
Yeah, they told us we have to do a 45-day window. When we sent out the email and everything like that. So, yeah, I'll double check what date I sent that out and what date is gonna be the,
yeah, shoot me an email if you would on that, please.
yeah.
If it's not a hard stop or a hard deadline, I'll still make my comments anyway, just to take I'll mention the Carbon County planning thing, but then I'll dovetail right in, or that'll lead me right into at least now talking a little bit about the open space program in Lehighton, so they know.
That's something I'll be able to talk to you.
I think with these municipal workshops, and I'm sure Anna is gonna put this out, that for the board is encouraged to come to these workshops, and I see 8 ambassadors, to interact with these municipal officials to help them understand the program and encourage them to look at their municipality.
All right. Thanks for the update, Anna. Anything else? Regional multi-municipal open space program workshop dates and times.
That's the workshop. So the first one. Let you know if you wanna. But I'm just kind of wondering for some insight on that as volunteers, and municipal. What's the best kind of. That would be good to host this, because I'm gonna send them a doodle poll, just so that we can get as good attendance as possible. But I need an idea what days and times I should pick.
So, I mean, I know most supervisors work, they have a full-time job, so that sort of doesn't lend itself to during the day. I mean, I speak Franklin Township, we're all working and, I know anything that we have extra, whether it's meetings or interviews, we schedule at 6. That's just Franklin Township.
Are Mondays typically the meeting for most townships for?
Ours is it varies every,
Okay.
yeah. Ours is a Tuesday.
I think we're looking possibly at Weatherly being centrally located for that northeast corner of the county.
I'd probably ask when are their meetings then? Try to find that, like what night they.
I mean, you've talked to all the municipalities with when their meeting dates are, right? And your brain's probably going all over the place with when they meet, you probably know more than anybody about when the meetings are.
any night of the week they could all have a meeting.
Yeah, I don't think daytime is too good for them.
I don't wanna do it on a weekend, I don't know, unless
I
I
wouldn't,
could.
I wouldn't even do it on a Friday, like,
Don't
it's-
or do.
I wouldn't.
Maybe a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, beginning or, yeah, middle of the week.
Is there any value? I know this would be more work. I didn't ask. But sometimes I've seen where they do it twice in one day, like a late afternoon, like 4 o'clock, and then 6 or 7 o'clock, try to catch. I mean, some municipalities have full-time staff.
Yeah.
That would probably work
Right.
during the day.
Oh,
You know, I don't know.
And that, yes, I was wondering that, has there been any sessions with some of the municipalities that do at least have a staff person? Maybe that's a group to talk to during a daytime meeting themselves, because several supervisors are gonna look to them for, well, what do you know about this and how does this work?
Well, you said you're gonna do that doodle poll, right? So put in some late afternoon and early evening and times.
I mean, the ultimate goal is to make sure what people show up. You know, that's where you wanna try to appeal to that crowd. No offense.
If you have some kind of food, they'll show up.
I mean, maybe they'll host our meeting up there and we just do it a night that we're having our meeting anyway. And then they could see us in action.
Did you have to find a location?
Yeah, I've thought about
What's that?
just reaching out to whether.
Obligated it anyway that night.
True.
Or, just asking all of them and see who offers, but I'm kind of nervous to do that.
First one would be cool. How as a meeting.
Yeah,
I
why not?
didn't do it.
Invite them to.
Or in the middle of the meeting, talking as the guest, so probably can call up.
I don't know, do all the townships, do they all have pretty nice facilities?
No. Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying, like,
Some of them are smaller than others.
Ones we've gone to, I mean, East Side Borough uses that beautiful restored train station in Whitehaven. In Packer, as the first time I was there, that old restored, looks like water department kind of building, that was nice. Obviously, Weatherly has a brand new municipal facilities and police department.
yeah, like I was, like fire companies or.
Yeah, I think the main thing would be like.
I know like the Big Creek Range, I could get that facility if you needed something in that territory.
But I don't think that they have a projector.
Yeah, they
They
do.
do?
Yeah, they do,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, we have the 4-H meeting there, big time projection screens. It's like off of Beltsville Road, when it's in that area. Big Creek Grange, it's on Grange Road in Franklin Township.
Lots of parking.
Yes.
And there's even an outside pavilion too, but that won't help with the projection screen.
Tell my kids that. They're always outside with them.
I'm just saying, if you need, probably even like, what I'm speaking for Franklin, even the Franklin Fire Company, like, probably get that too, that possibility.
Anything else under that? No? All right, application update?
So we're gonna get to close on that by the end of June, or not the end of June, the first week of June, the end of the first week of June. And I think the press event will definitely be June 11th. I think the time that worked for the people was I'll definitely send an email with them. And I'm looking at doing the Riverview Park in East Penn Township. I'm gonna need to fill out an application and get that secured still, but that's where we're looking to. Out in the site, kind of, in theory, could be. And I'm also working on getting the signs made. Any more. I'll just go with the lowest one. And hope that that ends solved by the press event, just so that once the media goes. The liquid control.
Wait, so you want the sign already done and in by June 11th?
I wish, I don't know that that's gonna happen.
You might have the sign done and can hand it, but might not be installed somewhere.
It could be a prop at this. press
Yeah,
release.
there you go.
The sign is gonna be installed on the property.
You can get the commissioner shovels to put it in the ground.
There you go.
Spray painted gold.
Get a post hole digger there.
No
dig the
gold
hole,
ones.
then they don't have to dig too much.
We go.
I'll bring the skid steer over. The short drive.
That again will be another news release.
Ian's gonna check for,
I don't know
still
if
water.
you've seen on the news feed, I sent Anna two examples. Morning Call had an article. Natural Lands also preserved just like 7.2 acres in Lynn Township in Lehigh County on the Blue Mountain. And it was a great write-up. I sent that to Anna, which talked about important bird area and the ecological value of land on the mountain. And there was I think WFMC did a news clip on it. I don't know the name of the property, but again, it was flipped. Oh, it was an in-holding flipped to the Game Commission. So it was, I think, State Game Lands 127 or something, and it was a small in-holding, and they were able to acquire that, and it added to the 8,000 acres of game lands. So that's the kind of press we're looking for the Resika event.
And Natural Lands Communication. They're helping me kind of rewrite those things for the workshop for the Great Round opening. Grab some attention and they'll send it to state rep. I'll let Channel 13. That press release will also.
Yes, and check to the availability of the commissioners. It would be good to have all three of them there.
Yeah, now that I think I have the date. I would really ask them when they were available, but Mike did tell me, just let them know. It's.
So, for representative and senator, they technically are in session the 11th. In Harrisburg, it's budget time. So now that can change. So depending upon the timing of the press event, they might be stuck in Harrisburg, or if we had it later in the day, they might be done, because on a Friday, they'll often recess a little earlier. So might ask their offices what timing is good for them to get them physically here in person. Then it's, if it's the opportunity. If not, don't worry about it. But they're currently both Doyle and Dave are scheduled to be in Harrisburg on the 11th.
I sent to you guys as the doodle poll were based on Natural Lands.
Mhm.
So it probably will just be a representative.
Yeah, I mean, So the way that for that right now, they're in session 9th, 10th and 11th, but they'd be back on the 12th and 13th. So just depends on what they, on what their level of participation would be.
That's it. Any other questions about the approved applicants? Any updates on the Lehigh and
Project, I think Dawn is just still working on her end to let us know when they'll be ready for posting. She'll give me that. I think it's, needs to be 45 days in advance for.
People sort of waiting. Soon to begin, which is gonna take a while. It's 1187 acres.
Do they reach out to you and keep you updated on the status, or do you have to reach out to them, or is there no set?
Especially since it's Dawn, if we're frequently in communication.
Okay,
Yeah. But Natural Lands, they just, we both reached out when we needed it.
For Rasika, it's the first, since it's the first land deal, the whole process that Anna's working through with Dave, with the county, contract, the fund, the funding, all these steps, this is all brand new, and Anna's working through that.
Yeah, I know once we had them fill out our payment request form, oh, this needs some updating already, but they kind of knew they were our guinea pigs, so that's been nice. Have someone, so we. Director for Land Protection.
Well, that's a good thing. It could be the other way around.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Any further business?
You guys, at least that's not what Jason had told me. Who did this for me. I believe Kate was appointed this morning.
Okay.
So I just, I talked about it and talked to them about it if they all wanted to be reappointed, so I got done. Because you guys know their terms ended at the end of this month, so I wanted to make sure.
Perfect.
yeah, it's good to get in our minutes, I think. But we have a record of it. We have-
And what the term ended, when did their term end?
The 31st of May.
Okay.
I think the minutes of the commissioners meeting will come out a day or two. It's a couple
After
days after the
the
meeting,
next meeting.
so you'll be able to get that online on the county website.
And the video is on Facebook.
Okay.
The minutes will come out after the next meeting.
Okay.
Like ours.
And I would also ask Anna and just some discussion before the meeting to send out a revised list of all the board members with their new updated, terms and contact information.
Very good.
Any other business?
I have something that's not really business, so I'm not gonna put it on, but this coming Sunday, if any of you are interested in the development of how the Beltsville Dam came into effect, Larry Deal, who has lived in Beltsville area, has a beautiful presentation, actually slide presentation. It's like 2 hours from 1:30 to like 4:30. That his dad took all the pictures, like him and Chubby Need went up in a plane and took pictures of, he has the pictures when they, of the before, how all the farms were there, and then when they started like ripping the land all up and everything. It's very moving. It's very sad. I mean, I remember those times. And if you're interested in going, you have to contact Larry Deal. This is his second session he's having. He had like over 150 people at the first one, which I went to, and he has 135 signed up. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I can give you Larry's phone number. You have to give him a call.
And where's it at?
It's at the Franklin Township the Franklin Fire Company. And they'll have like the auxiliary has food there too, but it was really, really good. I'm not kidding you. I was so impressed, like with the pictures, like just, it just brings back memories of how that looked, all those farms that were taken by the Army Corps of Engineer, and then, how it shows them like excavating the area, like it's really something to see. If anybody's interested, so not to put that's not part of the business, but I just.
When is it?
It's this coming Sunday
Sunday.
at 1:30. And, shoot me an email if you want Larry Deal's phone number. You have to give him a call. But he's, he comes from that territory, they took their family farm. And, his dad, wow, took all these pictures. They're so beautiful. They're perfect. I'm like, the guy was really something with, back then in that day, the cameras were just the 36 millimeter that you had to adjust the lens. So they're really something to see. Just so, any interest out there. I know some of you folks are from the territory, so
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, any other business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move. I'll second it.
First and second, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
7:13.